to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. It's time!
It's Sunday, November 20th, 2022. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 145, Nzechukwu versus Cutelaba recap. After that, we jump to some MMA news and a early happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there in America celebrating this great holiday. No fight card next week, but December 3rd, we will be previewing sometime next Sunday. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
Social media accounts, Mason, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well at the Church of MMA, guys. It is all the same. If you're not following us already, make sure you go and do it. Post some funny memes, trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up over there. Also, guys, we are multi-streaming on Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and I believe that's it, actually. Guys, follow us on all of those platforms. You have to. It is what it is. Get it done. Go to our Twitch, follow us. Go to our Rumble, subscribe, hit that plus button. And if you're already here on YouTube, you know what to do. Smash that like button like you've never smashed anything before in your entire life. Absolutely incredible. Mason, I'm not going to lie. When I heard the news that Derek Lewis fell out of the main event last night, I was a little bit disappointed, and I was nervous for this card. I did not think it was going to be a very good one, but I actually stand corrected. It wasn't that bad.
No, it really wasn't. There were a lot of great fights and a lot of good finishes. I felt like the heavyweight division came out. Waldo and Sherman had, I thought, fight of the night. I don't know who won fight of the night, but I think it probably should have been them. Very entertaining fight. You had Jack coming out, getting that first round knockout, excuse me. It was just a great card. And then, the slotted main event as well ended in a finish. It was actually ended up being a really entertaining card.
Absolutely. It actually did. I say we just hop right into it, as always. Main event of the evening, it was not Derek Lewis and Sergey Spivak. Derek Lewis's balls were too hot in the back, so he had to pull out of that fight. So we ended up getting the co-main as the main, a 3-round main event in Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Ion Cutelaba, the Hulk himself. I was thoroughly entertained in this main event.
Yeah, it's fun, but for some reason, Ion Cutelaba, I think he's got a lot of power. He's got finishing power, but the man, I just feel like I repeat myself after every single one of his fights. If you were a little more calm and calculated, you would win these fights. He just every single time he goes out there and he just throws like a madman.
He doesn't have much defense,
there's
I would say.
Exactly. There's literally no defense in his striking, and it's some of the most frustrating shit to watch because I'm like, dude, you could be good if you had a sliver of defense.
One might say he fights like the Hulk.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Hulk smash, except he gets smashed. And he gets finished because he's a human being and not a superhero. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, come on, I get it. You're alter ego. You're the Smash, or you're the Hulk. Smash. You smash, But it's just, it's a little ridiculous to me. I just wish the guy would have defense because I do think he's a good fighter, and I do love to watch him fight, and it's entertaining. But, obviously you don't have the chin to keep getting hit. I mean, and to be fair, Kennedy threw some wild knees, landed right on the chin.
Dude, it's crazy how long and lengthy that man is. Like, to be able to land the knees just standing in the pocket like that, it's crazy,
man. Well,
man.
It's interesting. I think he has pretty close to the same reach as John Jones. His reach is 83 inches long. The guy's like 6'5". It's crazy. He's a huge guy.
He's absolutely tremendous as well. I mean, his striking style is very, very high level. Those knees were dangerous. The clinch situation, he was landing those knees. It was a very technical fight from him. But then on the side of Ion, like you're saying, man, no defense, zero head movement.
Yeah.
Zero head movement. Like, he was just getting hit at will, really, by Kennedy. Kennedy, when he was landing those knees, I mean, Ion was walking into him.
Well, in Ion, at like 4 different points, I get it. If you're a professional fighter and one time you throw a little too hard and you spin because you throw so hard, I get it. This guy was throwing punches so hard that he was doing like a Looney Tunes like 360 after he'd throw a punch. And I'm like, bro, relax. Be a little more calculated, please. I don't know.
Just a wee bit more.
And don't get me wrong, like his fights are entertaining and they're fun, but it's just frustrating as a guy who actually is a fan of him. Every single time he fights, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, just it's the fight game. Like, you're supposed to be a fighter, right? Not just going out there trying to get the knockout, but also playing a little defense so you can win these fights. And I just never see it from him. I never see it from him. You know, he's all down and bummed that, you know, he's lost 3 or 4 straight. And I'm thinking, well, dude, do you have anyone around you? Do you have anyone around you telling you, hey, Ian, maybe we'll just drill defense? He goes, no, I smash.
He just goes out. Dude, he literally just goes out there for the finish every time.
Every time. And
if he can't finish a guy in the first 30 seconds, he gets fucked up.
Yeah. And I respect it. Like, that's the fighter in him. And, like, everyone's got that. But, dude, at the same time, I'm just like, bro, at some point, you got to have a little defense.
Can we pull up his sheer dog real quick? Because I'd love to see this streak that he is on with losses.
So,
I'm going to look it up.
So 2022, he lost to Johnny Walker. So he just lost to Kennedy Nzechukwu. Johnny Walker, he got submitted in the first round. Ryan Spann, he got submitted in the first round. He did get a win against Kevin Clark via decision, but then lost twice to Magomed Ankalaev. So out of his last 6 fights, he's lost 5 of them.
Mm-hmm. And, you know,
every time it's just going for the finish.
And now Kennedy's on a 2-fight win streak. He defeated Carl Robertson, now Ion, and, you know, he was on a 2-fight losing streak before that. But, I mean, I'm very impressed with Kennedy and Nzechukwu. I'm not going to lie. Ion Cutelaba, he's a tough opponent, man. Even though he is on this streak that he's on, he's an extremely tough guy, and he's a hard guy to put away. And if you're able to put this man away, like, you're on the cusp, I would say, of being, like, a top 15 guy. Maybe one more.
I might have said that 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know necessarily at this point right now. But again, here's the thing. Kennedy did beat Carl Roberson, knocked him out in the 3rd round, and now just got a victory over Ian Cutelaba. I'm definitely okay if we do give him a top 15. However, I just don't. I think he'll probably have to fight one more unranked guy.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2, and then, you know, maybe he can get a matchup after that with someone like, you know, Dustin Jacoby or Khalil Roundtree, like, you know, who Ion actually defeated Khalil Roundtree, I believe. So it's interesting. Do we give him Dominic Reyes?
Stop it.
No?
Stop.
Not funny?
No, we got to, no. That's it. That's all I got to say. Just no, please. Don't do that to me.
Okay.
That guy needs to take some time off.
Okay. Well, I am impressed with Kennedy. And, dude, the length, it's going to be a problem for a lot of these guys. The unorthodox striking style as well, going to be a huge problem for a lot of these guys. I'm going to be watching Kennedy very, very closely from now on in the future. Do you want to get into church coin bets?
Let's do it.
So, obviously, we had no prop bet, guys. So there is no prop bet on this one, but I did put 500 church coin on Kennedy and Nzechukwu. He was a big favorite. I believe he was a -170 coming to that fight. So that gave me a return of 294 church coin.
Yeah, I put 600 on Kennedy. Got a return of 352 church coin.
All right, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. We have Chase the Vanilla Gorilla Sherman versus Where's Waldo Cortez Acosta. Oh, you don't have Where's Waldo up on the graphic.
I didn't want to disrespect him again.
I guess during the fight we'll do the Waldo, and then the recap we'll give him his respect and put him up there.
Only if he wins. If he loses, he gets Where's Waldo.
There you go.
He's got to deserve it. I'm once again very impressed with Waldo. Dude, after a 23-day turnaround as well, very quick turnaround for Where's Waldo. But, I mean, dude, his striking style is dangerous, and I'm actually shocked. He, as a fluffy guy, like, you know, he ain't the skinniest heavyweight out there. He's a wee bit fluffy, but I mean, for him to have the cardio to throw those looping huge shots over and over again, and Chase Sherman just to have the chin of the gods to take them. Once again, another man with no head movement. 0 head movement by Chase Sherman. He was eating those shots. Waldo was blasting him the entire fight.
You know, I'm actually really, first and foremost, a fantastic fight all the way around. Chase Sherman and Waldo Cortez, they both came out, and, you know, it's really hard for these heavyweights, especially newer guys like Cortez Acosta, to come out and have 3-round cardio for this heavyweight division. And these guys were throwing back and forth the entire fight. And, you know, normally you'll have a little bit of lulls in this heavyweight division where 1 round they'll basically take off. This was action from start to finish. And hats off to Chase Sherman. As you said, he's got chin, man, because Waldo was hitting him with some big shots. But I want to talk about the year that Cortez Acosta has had. Dana White's Contender Series this year in August, he goes out there and gets the win. Okay, he comes back and he has his first fight against Jared Vandera October 29th, gets the win via unanimous decision. As you just said, Tabor had a 3-week turnaround and goes out there and beats Chase Sherman. This guy's on the up and up, man. And I'm not sitting here saying top 15. I'm definitely not saying that. He's a brand new guy, but he is undefeated. He's 9-0.
You mean you don't want to see him fight Tai Tuivasa next?
No, absolutely not. Give this man some time, please. Good Lord. Let's not throw him to the wolves. But 9-0. Out of those 9 wins, 4 KOs, 4 decisions. So we do know this guy can go, all 3 rounds. And he looked good, and he looked in relatively decent shape after the fact. So, again, very, very good fight. I'm excited for Waldo Cortez Acosta's future, Salsa Boy. I love that. I love that nickname.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's a great one, but where's Waldo? It's just where's Waldo Acosta Cortez? I mean, change it, bro. Come on. Get with the program. But, yeah, I'm very impressed, man. I mean, his shots are heavy. He's got cardio for days, and he looks like he could be a very dangerous threat to this heavyweight division. Yeah, do I see him beating the top 10 guys right now? Probably not. Like, you put him up against Rosenstrike, that's a tough fight for him right now.
Oh, 100%.
But 1 or 2 more wins, dude, especially if he's making these quick turnarounds, if he stays active, I'm on the up for Waldo, man. I really do think he could be a legitimate threat in this heavyweight division. I'm very impressed with his fighting style. I'm mostly impressed with his cardio, to be honest, because, I mean, for him just to be throwing those shots constantly, like most guys out there just get gassed.
Yeah.
Instantly. So very, very impressed. Would you like to move on to Church Coin?
Yes.
So I put 1,500 Church Coin on Waldo Acosta Cortez. He was a heavy, heavy favorite. I believe he was a minus 220. So that gave me a return of 666 Church Coin.
Yeah, I put 1,000 on Waldo. Got a return of 444 Church Coin.
All right, let's move on to the next fight. We have Andre Falhio and Muslim Solikov. Falhio, man.
Yikes.
It's just one of these guys, like, I believe his last 2 losses, he just got gas in, like, the second round and just was a shell of himself.
Yeah, he's got to work on that cardio a little bit. It was really rough going into that 3rd round. After that 2nd round, you could tell he was absolutely exhausted, had nothing left in the gas tank. And you can't do that against a veteran like Muslim Solikov, who has been around for decades at this point. I mean, the man's 38 years old, has had plenty of MMA fights. And Muslim was the savvy vet out there. Andre Falhio, I'm still up on the guy. He's only 28 years old. I really love watching him. I like his striking. I do think there is some development where he can get better in the game. But overall, really impressive performance by Muslim Solikov. Again, getting the job done and getting that rebound win after that loss to Li Jingliang. So
I think Andre needs to work on his ground game as well. Because when
yeah.
Muslim was on top, he did end up eventually getting back to his feet, but he was very suffocating there on top. And I think that's what really helped his cardio just get completely evaporated there. Muslim Solikov's a fucking savage on the ground. You do not want to be underneath that man. Ever.
No.
At all costs. You got to avoid that forever. It did not work out for Falhio. I do wish his cardio was a little bit better, but I mean, the dude has hands.
Oh, he's got
he
power,
was hurting Solikov with those shots. So I'm still up on Falhio, like you said. He just needs to tweak his game a little bit. And fights like this, with a young guy, it's exactly what they need to develop their game enough to really become an elite fighter. Because, when these young guys come up and they're just dominating everybody in front of them, when they hit a veteran, a savvy vet like Muslim Solikov is, it's good that this happens because it humbles them a little bit, tells them to go back to the drawing board and, tweak a few things. And he'll be a better fighter because of it.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah, but I was very hyped on Falhio coming into this fight. I did think he was going to get the victory. I ended up putting 1,500 Church Coin on him. Did not work out for me. And he busted my parlay I would have hit if he would have got the victory.
Yep, he busted my parlay too, Tabor. And I put 3,000 Church Coin on Falhio. Thanks a lot, Andre. No, I'm just joking.
You piece of shit.
Yeah, no, seriously. I lost 3,000 Church Coin there, and he also busted my parlay. I would have hit my parlay had it not been for him for 2,500 Church Coin.
Yeah, he busted mine. I hit every other fight on my parlay, and 4-5 parlay, I was 2,000 Church Coin, so that was unfortunate. But let's move on to Jack Della Maddalena. Oh, my goodness. What a tongue twister that name is.
So
against Danny Roberts. Oh, my goodness.
It's so crazy. This Jack Della Maddalena is an absolute savage. Has got lightning fast hands with a ton of power. He was coming in at like a minus 700 to like a minus 650, somewhere in that range. The line was moving a lot. But you had great value there on a KO finish at a minus 175. It's this guy's just really good, man. I'm excited for him to take on some top level competition, and I think he deserves it at this point because he's just finishing these dudes like it's nothing. First round finish, first round. I'm like, at some point we gotta have a step up in competition because he's just smoking everyone.
And he's going to continue smoking people, dude. Especially, he needs a top 15 matchup. I think he's ready. I love his hand speed. He's got some of the fastest hands in the welterweight division. He looks like he's going to be probably one of the best boxers in the welterweight division I've seen in a very long time. And his kickboxing isn't the best. But, I mean, when you got hands like that, man, you don't really need good kicks.
Bro.
As long as your ground game is good enough to stuff takedowns, and especially in this really wrestling heavy division in welterweight, he's going to find a lot of success, man.
Well, it's fucking crazy because literally Dana White's Contender Series last year in September, he wins a decision fight. Every single fight since in the UFC, and that has been 3 now, have been first round KO finishes. That's wild, man. I mean, you cannot do any better than that for your first 3 fights in the UFC, man. And that's why I want to start seeing him take on maybe a top. I know it's a little soon. I know he's only had 3 fights, but I mean, 3 first round finishes. Let's get him real close to the top 15, if not number 15. You know, I like this guy a lot. I think he's going to be real good, and he's from Australia too.
If you don't want to Shoeys for days. If you don't want to give him a top 15 guy, you could give him, the guy who just fought after him, Muslim Solikov. Yeah. That'd be a fantastic matchup. Let's see if Muslim can take him down. Let's see his ground game. I would love to see him off of his back to see if he has any game there or if he's just going to give up and wait till the next round to get back onto the feet. But I really don't see a lot of these guys being able to contend with that hand speed. Yeah. He's going to touch them. And when he touches guys, they go to sleep usually. So very, very high praise for Jack Della Mandolina. I really love this guy. Ever since I first saw him fight in the UFC, I knew this guy was going to be something special. And I really do believe that. So, yeah, maybe one more, and then he's ready. I think he's ready right now. Like, if you wanted to throw him, let's look at the rankings right now. If you really wanted to throw him like a Daniel Rodriguez, Michel Pereira, Neil Magny, like, those are tough fucking matchups.
Yeah.
And I think he could come out on top with those. I think he could piece up Neil Magny as long as he doesn't get taken down. Daniel Rodriguez would be a fucking great fight.
Daniel Rodriguez would be a lot of fun. I love that one. I do like Neil Magny as well, too. Stylistically, I think both of those make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. I would agree with that. But let's move on to church coin picks. I put 500 church coin on Della Mandolina. Did not work out. Oh, wait, no, it did.
No, it did.
Just joking. I should have put more because I only got 113 church coin returned on that.
Yeah, I put 5,000 on Mandolina. I knew who this guy was coming into this fight, and I knew it wasn't going to end well. End well for Mandolina, it will, but not Roberts. But nonetheless, I put 5,000 church coin on him, got a return of 1,136.
All right, let's move on to the opening fight of the main card. We had Charles Johnson versus Zagalias Zumagulagov. This was a competitive fight. How many dick kicks were in it? 3?
3 dick
kicks, 1 eye poke.
2 eye pokes.
2 eye pokes.
Yeah, it was a
shit show. Keith Peterson was pissed.
Keith was about to lose his shit. I did see him. It was fascinating. First time I've ever seen this happen. He did actually call a timeout in between one of those dick pics.
Dick pics.
Dick pics. Well, it got so bad that they were taking pics, baby. Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. Now you got me all flustered. I said dick pics, dick kicks,
That's
whatever it is, what it is. But yeah, as far as the fight goes, Zumagulov, I thought he looked good. There were moments where he really shined in this, but I guess inevitably Charles Johnson got the job done.
Johnson was looking good too. I mean, he was landing a lot of shots on Zumagulov. I mean, the way he landed that knee straight to the cup was absolutely incredible. Like, Zumagulov did not see that coming at all. And plus, like, his hands were nice. He was landing a lot on Zumagulov. This was an extremely tight, competitive fight. It ended up going to a split decision for Charles Johnson. At the time, I kind of thought that was weird, but looking at it now, either guy could have won that fight, really.
Yeah.
Was there a point taken at any time?
No, I don't think there was.
They probably should have been. I'm surprised Keith didn't. He's like, man, I just need to get out and smoke my Newports. This is some bullshit.
Well, and I think, taking a point away, you would have had to write a report, which would have been more minutes away from those Newports.
Oh, true.
So he said, nope, not going to do it.
Not going to do it, yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of nonsense in this fight.
That's like a cop who pulls someone over and is like, I don't want to do the paperwork. Yeah, I'm not going to give you a ticket, kid, but don't do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, if we've all had one of those.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, shout out to Charles Johnson getting the big victory of Zumagulov. Zumagulov was a guy I was really watching closely. I really did like his fighting style. He's really good on the ground. He's got fantastic hands. He's very fast on his feet. I thought he was going to find more success versus Charles Johnson, but Charles Johnson really showed out and surprised a lot of people there. So we did not bet on this fight for Church Coin.
No, we did not.
So let's go to our parlays. I had a 4-fight parlay for 2,000 Church Coin. It was Kennedy, Waldo, Valhio, and Madalena. Valhio busted my parlay for me.
Yeah, for me, it was Faelo, Kennedy, and Madalena. Unfortunately, Faelo busted that for me for 2,500.
Let's talk about Church Coin totals. This was the last round of this current Church Coin Championship. I ended up losing 2,427 Church Coin, which gave me a new total of 23,257 Church Coin.
Yeah, I lost 3,568 Church Coin. New total 13,888 Church Coin. I believe December 10th is the last card of the year, so we're probably only going to do
December 17th.
Do we have a December 17th card?
Strickland versus
cool.
Cannonier.
Okay.
So we'll have 3 cards to do
We'll
the
have 3
last
cards
round.
for the last round. Okay.
Yeah. I would just like to give a thanks to everybody that believed in me. You know, once again, 3rd time defending in a row, I believe. Church Coin Championship. I'd like to thank my parents for giving birth, and had a lot of fun with this one. It was a comeback. I'm not going to lie. You looked like you were running away from it.
Yeah, and then last week you gained what
Like
was it,
15,000 or
18
something like that?
19,000 Church Coin. Blew me out of the water, but it was good. It was competitive. It was fun. I blame all of this on Andre Faelo. I will never forgive you.
Yeah, if you would have hit that parlay, it would have been pretty big.
Yeah,
But I would have hit mine as well, so it would have been neck and neck, really. So
it would have been.
interesting to see. Let's move on to MMA news. Shout out to the chats. Ant W's there. He said JDM, Jack Della Mandolina versus Michel Pereira. That'd be a good matchup.
That'd be fun.
Michel just backflip kicks him in the
I
face.
But I would pick Jack in that fight.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think Jack has got the better offense, better defense. I think Michel is good offensively. Defensively, he struggles. And I think Jack would inevitably knock him out.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
All right, let's move on to the first little bit of MMA news. So we ended up getting an update on the Anthony Rumble Johnson passing. So a lot of people were speculating on what the disease actually was. So he ended up suffering from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is a type of cancer that begins with your lymphatic system, which is part of the body's germ-fighting immune system. Essentially, his immune system was shutting down, and he had multiple organs failing, and what a horrible way to go, man. Yeah. It had to have been, part of me, once we found that out, and, and you do a little research into non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, like Anthony Rumble Johnson has probably been struggling for a long time, suffering for a long time. So I'm glad the suffering's over. I hope he's in a better place. And, thoughts and prayers obviously are with his family. Everyone was so shocked last week when it happened. Like, it almost ruined our episode when we broke on the episode.
Well, yeah, it was
that he
broke.
ended up
It was
passing.
broke to us live in the chats, and then we couldn't even really continue the show for a minute or two because it was like, okay, well, how do we move on from this? We were recapping UFC 281, talking about Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, and then we got the news. But as far as what it is, I guess we have the information now, but it doesn't change the fact of how tragic and sad it is that one of the legends of mixed martial arts and a beloved fighter in the UFC, and I guess you could say Bellator as well because he fought there, passed away so young. And there's really nothing you can say or do. It just fucking sucks. But yeah, again,
It was a
prayers
nice
and condolences to the family and friends of Anthony Rumble Johnson. Gone too soon, and we'll miss you, and we love you.
The UFC gave a nice tribute last night.
Yeah,
as well,
they did. Yeah, they really did. And I'm glad they did that because I was wondering if they were
deserved
going to
it.
do that. And yeah, by far, he was a stand-up individual. The whole MMA community, all the fighters, the coaches, I didn't hear a single bad word about him. Which, when a guy dies, you're probably not going to come out and say bad things about him.
Unless
because
you're Colby
a
or something like
fucking
that.
dickhead. But we all knew this far before we even found out about Anthony Rumble Johnson, that he was always a really sweet individual, a really good human being. And it's just tragic and sad.
Yeah, a lot of people were sharing stories like DC, when his mother died, of course he checked his DMs, and one of the first people that messaged him on his cell phone was, Anthony Rumble Johnson, a former foe, a former title challenger.
Yeah.
So many people had so many good things to say, like anything from, just check-ins on life to see how you're going, just to talk, everyone had a lot of love for Rumble Johnson. So it was really a deep cut for the MMA community, man.
It was.
Yeah, so shout out to Rumble, R.I.P., my guy, and thoughts and prayers are with his family. Let's move on to other MMA news. This one kind of shocked me. I don't really care. Yeah, deserves a fart button. Dylan Dennis versus KSI is set for January 14th on DAZN Boxing.
It is what it is.
I don't know the buttons. Never mind. That's why I don't fucking do them. I was trying to find who the fuck is this guy.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That one?
Of course. There we go.
For
Now
who?
I know.
Dylan Dennis or KSI? Because I feel like
Dylan
most people know
Dennis.
who these guys are.
I know, but Dylan Dennis. When's the last guy? The guy.
He hasn't
He's
fought
an
in like 4
internet
years or some
troll.
shit.
He's an internet troll. Like, come on, dude. Like, this is not. Like, I don't care about this. Whoever put this in the notes should be fired from the podcast immediately. It is absolutely ridiculous. He just gets up. He's gone. Good. Get out of the room. No, but. It's just like I look at these kind of fights and I just roll my eyes and I'm like, I just don't care. Because I guarantee you Dylan Dennis is going to do something a week or two before, like, oh, I pulled
My
a
tummy ache.
hamstring or whatever, and he's not
balls
going to
are
take the
hot.
And
fight.
he drops out.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's so dumb. Like, I have more faith in KSI than I do Dylan Dorcas, so I don't know.
Does KSI fuck him up?
Hopefully. I like KSI, dude. I like the... What's their channel name? I just watched a
I have
video
no
with them
idea.
and Mr. Beast last night. But I like them. Something Men. Simple Men or whatever. I don't know.
Many men wish death upon me. No, not that one.
No, not that one.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on this, Tabor? How excited on a scale of 1 to don't give a shit?
Don't give a shit, to be honest. But I mean, am I going to watch it? Fuck no, I ain't watching that shit. I ain't paying money for it. Am I going to illegally stream it? No, I don't even care that much.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. Whoever wins, if Dylan Dennis pulls something out of his ass, and fucking pokes KSI in the eye and somehow gets a decision victory, I guess I'll be shocked. I think KSI is going to go out there completely outclass Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis is a jiu-jitsu guy, not a striker. Now he's getting into a boxing match. Like, this is just a money grab, I think, by both men. KSI, I thought he was smarter than this. Like, Dylan Dennis is a fucking nobody. You could fight anybody and probably make more money.
Well, that's my issue. And that's where I'm like, this is just, it's so dumb. Like, Dylan Dennis isn't even a striker. And, I know KSI is just a YouTuber. He's boxed,
His
he's
last
boxed a
fight,
couple
he
times.
fought 2 guys at the same time.
Yeah,
or
that's
2
pretty
guys
cool.
in one night. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of cringe. But
But
I
at
guess
the
that's what
same
KSI's
time-
doing. He's not
Yeah.
trying to be like Logan Paul, where he's
No, and I know that, and I get that, and that's why, like, when I look at a
Jake
guy
Paul.
like KSI, who we all know, does it for publicity and money, like, I'm fine with that. Like, why is it that, like, we can have celebrity baseball games or, political baseball? It would be the same thing, the same concept for me, where if, like, KSI wants to go out there and put on a boxing event, not claiming to be a real boxer, that's fine, go do that. Like, I'll watch that, but... As far as me actually, like, being all jacked up and excited for this fight, no, I don't give a fuck.
no, fuck no. I'm more excited if and
I'd be
nothing-
excited if KSI knocked Dylan Dennis out.
I'd be excited for that too as well. But honestly, I don't think this fight's been announced, but like people rumors are talking about how it's going to happen. They faced off on Instagram. That kind of just been a clout thing. Top
and
G
so did-
versus
yeah.
Jake Paul apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but I'd actually be excited for that one. This one, I just don't give a shit about.
See, as far as Andrew Tate and Jake Paul, for me, that was all clout. That was fake. That's not going to happen. I'll tell you 2 reasons why. One, it doesn't make any sense for either guy. Because if Jake loses, that you'll lose a lot of stock, and if Tate loses, he loses a lot of stock. And two, they're friends. They're friends. They're not friends, but they actually respect each other and like each other. The fight to make, and I've said this before, is Andrew Tate versus Logan Paul. Because the shit Andrew Tate has said about Logan Paul and calling him like a cuck man and stuff like that, like Andrew Tate goes hard in the paint on Logan Paul. He has no respect for him. He thinks he's a clown. He's a shill. That's the fight to make because, one, Tate's been out of the fighting game for a while, hasn't done it. And two, Logan Paul is the better opponent stylistically for a guy like Tate who's been out of the fight game for so many years. Jake Paul's in it, baby. And I take Jake as serious as can be. That guy can crack. He is fucking legit. And anyone who says different is delusional and you hate so much that you cannot see real talent. Now, am I saying Jake Paul could go out there and smoke the best boxer in the world, right? Could he take on Tyson Fury or Canelo, which I know are not in his weight classes? No, he's not to that level. But again, he's a very, very legit boxer and could be a professional and go fight professional boxers if he wanted to.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, see, I think you guys are just haters at this point.
I'm not a hater. I respect the game, but I like to say he's legit when he's just fighting washed up old UFC fighters. Like, dude, I just don't know about that. Like, I'd like to see. Well, let me finish. I'd like to see him fight a legitimate fucking boxer. Like, if he goes and beats Tommy Fury, who is a mid-range boxer at best, never gonna sniff a fucking title in his life. If he beats Tommy Fury, I'll go, okay, he's a legitimate boxer. He's a legitimate athlete. I'll give him that. And I'll give him, he's a legitimate boxer, but like, I just don't know if I'd say he's actually like, I guess, how do I put this? Good. Like, he's good, I guess, but is he like good enough to beat someone who's been boxing their entire life? I don't know because I haven't seen it.
I know, it's just, my biggest issue is that this narration just constantly changes. So before this Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight, you and I were both on the podcast talking about how legit Anderson Silva striking still is. He went out there and beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and then he's got real boxing chops, and this would be a competitive fight. The only caveat and asterisk to that fight was that Anderson Silva was older.
He's 45 years old.
Right. Okay.
And we saw that.
And that was one asterisk. But what we saw in that fight,
it was a competitive fight.
It was a very competitive fight. Yeah, and what we saw was Anderson Silva striking. He landed some clean shots on Jake, and Jake was able to take them. And Jake was able to complete the fight and win via unanimous decision. I completely I don't care if Anderson Silva...
I have to watch that fight. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Say if it was legitimate or not.
Right, because I don't care if Anderson Silva's 44 or 45. You know, when he goes out there, beats Cesar Chavez Jr., and then goes out there 45-year-old and competes against Jake Paul the way that he did. Like, Jake is legit, in my opinion.
He's a legit athlete. I just don't know if he'll beat legit boxers.
I disagree with your take on, I guess not your take, but Tate's take. Like, I think the fight to do would be Andrew Tate versus Jake Paul. That's a more interesting fight to me that I'd actually might want to watch over Andrew Tate, Logan Paul. I know he dislikes Logan Paul, but I feel like he kind of doesn't deserve as much hate. What do you think, Mason?
Who deserves less hate, Logan Paul or Andrew Tate?
Logan Paul. The hate that Andrew Tate has towards Logan Paul, because he's definitely changed. Like, he's not the same goober he was before.
Yes, but I watch Impulsive and stuff, and I like watching it. And overall, like, you know, I do agree with some of Andrew Tate's takes, though, on Logan.
The Matrix
Not all
shill.
of them. But yeah, like,
he's definitely a Matrix.
Bro,
shill.
there's a lot of times on his show, and again, this coming from a guy who watches it a lot, where like he'll be like, "Oh no, we're not gonna," and I'm like, "Okay."
He does that. He says that.
Sure. I mean, fucking whatever. What do you want me to talk about? The fucking the Illuminati and shit. Like, what? You get what I'm saying? Like, nonetheless, the business. But yeah, I don't know.
I think that fight's more entertaining. Andrew Tate versus Jake Paul, because I think we all know that Jake Paul's the better fighter.
Yeah, but I mean, Tate's been out of the kickboxing game for a few years.
Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to hit on. I think so. You're right, but that's also Cobra Tate. Like, pretty legit kickboxer, like obviously. So I know he's been out, but he trains. He even talked about how he trains pretty much very often. Like I don't think he's just sitting on his ass every day, just out of shape. Like he's in shape. Clearly, he trains. I think we're slightly underestimating Cobra here, but
maybe a wee bit.
Yeah, that's a fair statement to make, and I can give you credit for that one. And too, I mean, Tate's still only 35 years old. You know, he had 18 fights as a kickboxer, all by knockout. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to shout out to Ant W in the chats right now. I don't think Tate and Paul fight is actually going to happen. Tate isn't going to fight anyone. Him getting beat up would crush his image. 100% absolutely agree with that. Ant W, Jake Paul is legit. If you've watched a lot of boxing prelims, he's on the level of a lot of pros. He's obviously not top caliber, but if he wasn't famous before and was just a boxer, he would be a credible prelim guy. Muhammad Ali's grandson is coming up in top rank right now on their prelims, and I think Jake would beat him. That's my issue with it, and I could agree with that 100%, Ant W. I just haven't seen it. I want to see him fight a legitimate boxer before we just go on and say this guy's it. He's a good talent. He's legitimate in the sport. It's like, then fight someone legitimate, please. Like, just fight Tommy Fury. Let's make that fucking fight, please. Like, I'm just tired of seeing him fight fucking old UFC legends that we all know he's going to beat. I just want to see him fight a boxer, man.
Yeah, and I mean, that's fair. But going back to the point that I was trying to make, you know, and I think Ant agrees with me. I'm not sitting here saying that he's an elite caliber boxer, but he is a legit athlete and a legit boxer. And as he said, could fight on prelims if no one knew who the hell he was.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
I'll give him that. Let's move on to some other MMA news. Let's get into Bellator news. So Bellator did happen, I believe, Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so main event, Nemkov defeated Corey Anderson by unanimous decision, outclassed Corey there, and that was hard for Corey, man. He was really coming into his own there in Bellator. I really did think he had a legitimate chance to defeat Vladimir Nemkov, but Nemkov got it done. But what really shocked me was actually the co-main event of the evening. Usman Nurmagomedov went out there in 50-45, 50-44 on some judges' scorecards. Pitbull. Patricio.
Yeah, that one did not surprise me. When Usman Nurmagomedov came in at a minus 700 favorite, I go, okay.
700 favorite?
He was a minus 700 favorite.
Damn.
I was going to go bet on this, and I was going to go bet on Usman. And I was like, as soon as I saw the line, I was like, okay, there's no point. There's literally no point in me even attempting to go bet on this. Because I was hoping the line was going to be pretty close. Because, as you said, it's Patricio Pitbull. But, yeah, no.
Dude, that's crazy to me because Pitbull is that guy. He's very dominant lightweight and 45er over there in Bellator. And to get completely outclassed by Usman Nurmagomedov. I mean, that's almost back-to-back pay-per-views for fucking Khabib. Khabib, coach of the year.
Yeah.
Early coach of the year so far. And I would have to agree with that. And we also did get other news that Yoel Romero will be fighting the winner. He will be fighting Nemkov next after the Corey Anderson fight. So I'm actually excited for that matchup as well.
I thought he was taking on Usman. I go, damn,
Usman,
Yoel's a lot bigger than Usman.
He's cutting that weight, baby.
They're like, no
both
weight
his
limit
legs off.
fight. Yeah.
say I love you, Michael Bipping. Come on, Mason, say it.
I love you, Bipping. I love you, Michael Bisping.
And W said Usman would smoke Gaethje, Chandler, and Dariush. He doesn't get the respect he deserves because he isn't in the UFC, but he's the real deal.
Yeah, he is the real deal. 100%.
Usman versus Islam.
No, they're...
They're teammates?
yeah.
I know, but let's do it.
Okay, fine. Fuck it.
Bellator
we don't want
versus
another
UFC.
situation where it's Aljo Lame and what's his face?
Marab Dvalishvili.
Yeah. Just fight your teammate. It's just a friendly competition. You don't gotta.
Well,
Still
Usman
gotta
and
beat the shit out of
Burns
each
did
other.
it. Yeah. He did. He knocked him out in the second round. That was rough.
It's
for
like
him.
it doesn't mean you have to hate him after. You can be buds after.
that's true.
You're just gonna fight. That's all.
I mean, you know, that's what I would do. I would fight my friends and then just shake it out afterwards, win or lose.
I feel like you'll hold a grudge
No.
if you get paid.
Because, I mean, it's
enough.
comeback sports, man. I mean, what? It's not a big deal. People lose, people win. Like, one of my friends knocked me out. As long as, you know,
People die.
people die every day. That's the damn truth, Devin. They do die.
Absolutely. I am excited for Yoel Mero to fight Nemkov, though. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Let's
why
see
not?
what happens. Why not? Let's get Yoel just juice the fucking gills and send him out there versus
Now, bringing up Yoel, could we see potentially Izzy Yoel 2? That would be the most exciting fight.
Shut the hell up.
What?
God, you're such a dickhead. No, I do. I never want to see that fight ever again. Just the broken video game character.
just frozen.
My goddamn. Oh, brother, grab my battery pack. Yeah, that's literally. It was awful. It was so bad.
Xbox controller?
Yeah, Xbox
Batteries?
controller. Your batteries. Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't know.
Yeah, but shout out to Bellator. Put on a pretty good card on Friday, so very excited about that. We'll see what happens here in the future. It looks like Yoel and Nemkov are probably fighting each other around February, I believe.
Oh,
so
tremendous.
absolutely tremendous. All right, let's move on to the last little bit of MMA news. Guys, this is a quick episode. We're going to be out in 45 minutes, essentially. Jorge Masvidal and Gilbert Burns, that was supposedly the matchup they tried in the UFC has been trying to make for several months now. Gilbert Burns has gone on his Instagram and saying that Jorge Masvidal has declined the offer for that fight over 3 times now. They were supposed to fight in December, the last one. Jorge Masvidal once again declined that fight. And Gilbert Burns says maybe January, maybe February, maybe March on that card with Usman and Leon Edwards. They hopefully get that done. Jorge Masvidal went on his Instagram and Twitter and blasted Gilbert Burns, saying that he's a fake bitch, called him a pussy boy, and all this other shit. Just essentially only talked shit on Twitter, said he will fight him whenever, yet he says no on the contract thing. Also came out and said the UFC has never once offered him Gilbert Burns and that Gilbert Burns is just talking shit. Who do you believe more, Jorge Masvidal or Gilbert Burns?
Gilbert Burns.
Absolutely. Jorge's saying no.
I don't.
easy as
Why
that.
would Jorge want that fight? So Gilbert Burns can take him down and beat the shit out of him on the ground. I mean, Gilbert can definitely stand and crack, and he's a good striker too. But I think Gilbert, knowing who Jorge Masvidal is, hey, look, big star of the sport. I respect everything he's done. He's had some awesome moments in the UFC, and there are entertaining fights for him still. And I don't think he's washed up. But at this point in his career, he is a journeyman. He will never win the UFC belt. And that's okay. That's okay. Because we have fighters like that who we love and adore who have never won the belt. And I am a big fan of Jorge Masvidal, despite some of the shit he's done. I just don't like that. I don't like that gangster mentality like with him and Nate Diaz where they go around and slap people and sucker punch people. Like, I hate that shit. I think it's so cowardly.
No, Nate Diaz didn't sucker punch anyone. He just give him a
I
nice
said slap people.
Stalked and slap. You know what I mean?
And sucker punch people. I was referring to 2 different people. But Nate Diaz has historically slapped reporters, which I think is completely out of fucking line. And if he ever did shit like that to me, I'd be sure to press charges because fuck you. You're a professional fighter, dude. Like, you.
So if he slapped you as like you're interviewing him, you'd press charges?
Fuck yeah, dude. 100%. Fuck you. Now, if I was doing Mace Massigo and he slapped me, then no, I would just use it as publicity. But if I'm just here as me and I'm just interviewing him and I'm not asking him any like wild questions and he just fucking smacks me for no reason, yeah. You can't just go around and just fucking assault people. Now, if I'm doing my fucking character and I'm in my Kung Pao and I'm antagonizing him and he smacks me, no, I'm just going to use it for content and I won't sue him. But there have been instances where people they're just reporters. And they're just like, hey, let me ask you a question. He doesn't like the question, so he fucking smacks him. I don't tolerate that shit at all. You're a professional fighter, dude. Fuck you. And one of these times you're going to get in trouble for it. But no.
Just not about that street life, man.
No, I'm not about that street life because I didn't grow up on the streets and I'm not going to pretend like I did. Like so many
Grew up on
fucking
these
people
streets out here.
Never grew up on streets. But I did grow up
Run
in
these
a
streets.
house.
Well, then, no, we'll save it for later. All right. Oh, that's fine.
So Jorge Masvidal, again, there are matchups for him. I don't like the Gilbert Burns fight for him at all. I think it's a terrible matchup, and I would actually agree with Jorge Masvidal why he is denying this fight, or I think he's denying this
So
fight.
would you prefer to see what Wonderboy said is for them to rematch? Say if Wonderboy loses, do you think that he should fight Masvidal?
See, I like that
Wonderboy
fight.
would-
And do you
fucking whoop
think
his ass.
Masvidal would take that fight?
Fuck
Because I know
no.
he says he'll fight anyone, but
No.
that was pretty brutal.
No, he'll get the shit kicked out of him again. Just get completely outclassed.
Yeah, see, I love that matchup, though. I love the Wonderboy Thompson versus Jorge. I think that's a wonderful matchup.
Both a striking match. Just be a fun fight.
Yeah,
Jeff
yeah.
Neal.
I also think, Jeff Neal would be a fun fight. I also think I'm still throwing it out there.
I don't think Jorge's taking that Jeff Neal fight.
He should take it. That's a fucking fantastic matchup. It's a boxing fight.
Yeah.
What does Jorge want? He wants a boxing fight. He doesn't want to go fight a kickboxer who's just going to out counter him the entire time.
I also think Vicente Luque would be another really good matchup for Jorge. But here's the one that I'm still throwing out there, and I still think could be made, and that's Conor McGregor. Yeah. At 170.
I mentioned that like a year
it's either
ago.
Him or Chandler.
A year ago, I think I mentioned that, and this was before, I think, the Colby fight. And I mentioned that. What does bigger numbers than the two biggest superstars in the UFC, Conor McGregor at 170 and Jorge Masvidal? Mm-hmm. You have two, I guess, would you say shit talkers? Well, Conor's definitely a shit talker. Jorge
responds to the shit talking.
Jorge responds to the shit talking, and but he's pretty respectful towards reporters and shit like that, and surrounding people. So I think that does numbers, and I think it'll be a big shit talking fest, and then it would be a good fight on top of that.
Yeah, you know what's so funny about that fight too is, and hear me out, hear my whole theory here. Okay. But that fight right there could headline a pay-per-view event. You go, well, Mason, how could that headline a pay-per-view event?
I agree.
Because the fictional belt is still on Jorge Masvidal, the BMF belt, and if they wanted to, I don't think they will, because that belt is a disgrace now, because the champion has held onto that belt and he's lost 4 fights now, so it's a fictional belt. But if they wanted to bring that back and Conor said put that fake belt on the line because I'll never win a real one again, then they could fight for it, which would get the hype of so many casuals.
Should we start this campaign? Because Conor's, I think, done filming.
Yeah, we could start the campaign.
And
now.
Dana said Conor's coming back for sure.
Right.
And he's already beefed up.
Let me ask you guys this question, because I'm struggling with this personally. I'm struggling with it. Would you rather see a matchup like that against Jorge Masvidal because of obviously his success and how famous he is, the BMF belt, blah blah blah, or would you rather see him fight Michael Chandler coming off a loss again?
I think honestly, I'm leaning the Jorge fight because Chandler's knocking Conor out.
Well, and I think exactly, and I think I do believe Conor's got a much better shot against Jorge Masvidal than he does Michael Chandler.
I would agree with that. Plus, if he is piecing up Chandler could just take him down and slam him like he did Poirier.
Yeah, or everyone else he's fought.
I should take that back. I didn't mean to say that the Conor fight wouldn't be competitive with Michael Chandler like Chandler wants. It's going to be competitive. They're both going to throw. I just think Chandler has more power, but not to say Conor can't knock people out. We've seen him do it countless times. I think he's a better striker, obviously, but I think that the power is just going to translate over, and Conor's going to sleep.
Yeah. And I just think Chandler's just more well-rounded,
But we haven't seen him at 170 yet, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We don't know what he's going to look like.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take by Ant W here. I think we get Chandler more likely. Any Conor pay-per-view is huge, and UFC would rather pay one guy pay-per-view points than both. Masvidal gets points. Chandler doesn't.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. If you're looking at saving money, making more money on a big Conor card, you would go with Michael Chandler over Jorge.
Unless they do it in Florida, then I think they would do it.
Oh my God!
The gate would be crazy.
The gate would be insane.
God, I'm so smart.
The gate would be insane
Dana, pay
for
me.
that. If it was in Florida with Jorge Masvidal,
you could charge
fighting
premium.
Conor McGregor,
more premium than you already do for those seats. Dude. $500 for nosebleeds.
Yeah,
a piece easily.
I mean, it would sell out. It'd do numbers.
I
think it's the smarter route for them to take. Yes, they actually have to pay people. I know it sucks. You have to pay people, but it does big numbers, and you would sell it out immediately, and the gate would do. I mean, it just makes sense to do that over. I know Chandler wants a money fight. He deserves a money fight. He's very entertaining, but I don't see how him beating a beefed up McGregor gets him to a title shot.
Yeah,
I feel like he just needs. It would be a rematch with Charles or someone in there because Conor's just not in the loops. Though that saying, if Conor wins one fight, he's going to get a title shot because that's just how it is, and that's what we have to live with.
Best way for a title shot for Conor is Chandler, especially if he gets it done.
Or the trilogy with Poirier. Or, no,
quadrilogy?
Quadrilogy with Poirier.
Yeah.
Poirier would take that fight too. He'd be
I
stupid
don't think
not
he
to.
would.
He'd be stupid not to, dude.
He's done it 3 times, and he got money the last 2. And he said that Conor hit the hardest. I don't think he wants to do that again. I think it just puts him in a bad mood.
I think Dariush could beat Poirier.
It does put him in a bad mood, and he kind of translated that over to Chandler, too. He was in a bad mood for that fight. I'm like, Dust, I don't want to see this guy. I want to see the nice
To be
Dust
fair,
again.
he did get a nice glob of blood in his mouth and
That is
hooks
true.
and stuff.
He did get fish hooked, too, which is always a fun thing.
Very fun.
And W says Dustin is too busy running from Dariush. I feel like that's not true.
I think
Dariush
that's
just
the next
can't.
fight.
Dariush just can't get a fucking #1 contender fight because the UFC says nah.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that's the next fight.
Do it in February. Co-main event for that fucking crazy super fight we got going on. I'd love it. Oh, wait, no, we already have a co-main event interim title fight. Never mind. Do it in February anyways. Put it on the main card. Let's do it. Sign me up. But last little bit of MMA news. This is what actually NW dropped. So James Krause is going down for fight fixing. New Jersey just made it to where you can't bet on any fighter from his gym, and the UFC suspended him from cornering. And the Nevada State Athletic Commission banned him from cornering any fighters.
So that's interesting because remember the UFC came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, this is
and they were
exactly right.
talking about this
Now-
and how they suspended. I wonder if this was because they were on to this type of behavior from James Krause. And then we find out again that he's betting on these fighters and he gets suspended. I wonder if that whole thing was because of him.
Probably. And, they made it so where you can't bet on even your own guys.
Oh my God.
So is that fight fixing if you bet on your own guy, or is he
don't
betting
feel like
against
it's-
them?
I
If
don't
you're
feel like
betting
it is.
against them,
It's fight
that's a
fixing.
problem. And who was that fighter who came out who had a knee problem right before the fight? And then the line changed drastically because someone came out. This is where this whole investigation started because someone came out and put like a $25,000 bet on a first round finish. I forget who that was. It was like
Yeah, I
2
don't
weeks
remember.
ago, but that's when the investigation started.
Interesting. We'll do more research into this, and we'll get back probably in our next episode about it. But yeah, James Krause going down for fight fixing, that's very uncharacteristic of him. I mean, I did not know any of this. He seemed like a stand-up guy, but if he's fixing
So
fights,
was he
man, that's
betting
fucked up.
on the opponent or if it was his own fighter? Because if it's your own fighter, I gotta say,
I wouldn't say that's
I
fight
don't really
fixing.
care, and I
Yeah.
don't feel like that's fight fixing. But if he's betting on the opponents, then yeah, that's pretty shitty.
I would assume he's betting on his own fighter. But why they call that fight fixing, I don't know. I know they banned that. You can no longer do that. But, I mean, that's kind of stupid.
I don't feel like
if
that's-
you're a coach, you want to go bet on your own guy
Is
because
he
you're
going?
that confident? Why the
Is he
fuck
going
not?
down and breaking the kneecaps of the opponent fighter? That's not fight fixing. Then if you just bet on your guy.
No, I definitely don't have a problem with that. If you bet on your guy to win, then that's totally okay. I think that should be acceptable. But where that investigation came in is someone bet a huge line on James Krause's fighter because there was an undisclosed injury right before the fight, and then he got finished in the first round because his knee went out.
How is that James Krause's fault? I'm not trying to
No. and
Unless
I'm not
unless he
saying it
told
is.
someone to do it.
Exactly. I'm not
I
saying
see.
it is.
No.
but-
I know you're not. I'm just saying, like, why would they specifically target him if somebody else did it?
Right. Well, what they're saying is that this information leaked out of that camp. We
So
don't know
that's
if it was
what- that's what
James or
Ant-
we don't know if it was anything.
That's what Ann W just said.
So
he was
he's
in the
just-
camp with the guy who had the knee injury, and
Yes.
right before the fight, they had a lot of bets come in, so it's probably him leaking info to gamblers or something.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
Or
but
is there a snake in the grass and they're just making him the target?
maybe
I
they're
don't
trying to
Maybe he's the scapegoat.
Super interesting.
smoke him out or something.
Super interesting. Keep us in the loop with that in the chats in our next fight companion next week on our preview show, because that's definitely something we got to look into.
Were we
as
not
well.
going to do the preview show today?
No.
No, we'll do it next
We'll do
week.
it next week.
I won't be here, but if you guys want to do it on Zoom, I'm down. We'll figure it out. Thank you so much for showing up here tonight, Ant. Appreciate you, my guy. Once again, another fantastic episode. Mason, what is on the agenda for Have You Seen It?
Have you seen it? Is we don't know. We have no idea. I have no idea what's going on with
You haven't watched any new movies?
No. No,
Is
I
there
don't know
anything
what's
even out right
going
now?
on.
Let's go watch Till, Mason.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna relax tonight. I gotta go work in a couple hours. I gotta go in early this whole week because of Thanksgiving and stuff. So
Do you at least get off early, or is it just extra hours?
Extra hours.
Well, that's nice, I guess, for extra money, but
Yeah.
shitty for schedule.
That is what it is.
Essentially, so it's looking like She Said, The Chosen, The Menu, Black Panther, Black Adam, Ticket to Paradise, Lyle Crocodile. Go see Lyle Crocodile.
I'm gonna pass on that one. Thank you for the recommendation. But,
Strange
The
World.
menu looks good. I want to see the menu. The menu looks good.
Devotion.
What's on the menu?
That's a good question. I think death.
Ah,
Go watch Devotion, another pilot movie.
Wow.
is it
That's
an A24
needed
film? Because if
another
it's
one
not,
of
you know he's not
those.
going to watch it.
No, it's not.
Well,
Violent Night, you gonna watch that?
Oh hell yeah! That's December 2nd.
That looks so stupid.
It looks so awesome. It looks dumb.
It looks so
But
stupid.
it looks like it knows exactly what it is, and that is a ridiculous Christmas comedy.
is that the one with Jim?
Yeah.
With where he's
Yeah.
like Santa? Or
David
something?
Halborough?
Oh,
yeah.
Santa just going on a rampage, killing people.
Yeah, dude.
I love it.
I like that. As long as the film knows what it is and it knows it's funny, then I'll go support it all day, especially if it's good. And that film looks good. It looks funny as hell. So I'm
Fuck it.
excited to see it.
I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll watch it. Why not? Guys, stay tuned next week. We will have a preview show. What is next? I believe the Holland and Thompson card,
Yes,
correct?
Holland Thompson card, and it is a really, really good card. So
I think, and I know, Tabor, are you going to be here for that card or no?
No, I'm going to be in Arizona for a week, and then I'm going to California for a few days, and then I'm going to be back in Arizona.
Mason, I know
I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks.
it's a 7 p.m. card,
yeah.
but look, I think that we should go live like at 5 or 5:30 because this card is way too stacked.
Yeah,
to
I'm fine
not-
with that. I'm not doing anything that weekend anyway.
I'll be back for 282.
At least maybe like the Tracy Cortez Amanda Rebos fight, and then we got us.
That's on the prelim too.
Okay, listen. This is the fight. The Yasmin Yaguri
I'd like to
Estela
see her
Nunes.
fight again,
That's the
too.
first. Started off Marcelo Roja, Francis Marshall, Nathan Levy, Renato Valdez, and then we got Tracy Cortez, Amanda Rebos. For some reason, is a prelim. We have Darren the Damage
Elkins versus Jonathan
Pierce, Michael Johnson versus Mark Diakis. We got Clay Guida versus Scott Holtzman, Angela Hill,
Bro.
Emily Ducote, Nico Price for some reason, and Phil Rose a prelim.
Those prelims are fucking
Eric
ridiculous.
Anders, Kyle Dawkins, Derek Brunson, Jack Hermanson, Tai Tuivasa, Sergey Pavlovich, the Matthias, whatever, Nicolau, Matt Schnell, Brian Barberina, Rafael Dos Anjos, Steven Wonderboy Thompson, and Kevin Holland.
That card's ridiculous, dude.
It's
That's
so
stacked.
stacked that
That's the
I
most
can't
stacked
believe
fight
this is
tonight.
free. I can't believe this is
It's on
free.
ESPN.
Yes,
That's
it's
why
free.
it's so stacked. The prelims want it. They want the prelims. People. they
Yeah,
want
I'm
people
gonna
to watch.
hit up a few people. You said Tanner and Thomas for sure.
Tanner for sure. Thomas said he would, but I'm in UPS schedule and it's
Okay,
weird.
so
But
I'm
I
gonna-
think we can get at least.
Okay,
Tanner
I'll
for
ask
sure.
people like Gideon and Cash and see. I would try to fill up this table. I need some talkers if we're gonna go 5 or 6 hours. But yeah, that's a really good card. Holy shit!
Compared to 282, like I'm not
Yeah.
trying to.
282, I think might be a little weaker. I mean, outside of those that title fight and that co-main, and obviously Patty the baddie, but like Lawler versus Ponzinibbio, I'm going
Bryce
Ponzinibbio all
Mitchell
day.
to Tuporia. That's a fucking good fight.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
fight. That's a good fight.
Gustafson OSP.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. But I'm really excited because Raul Rosas Jr. is on this card.
He's above Darren Till.
18-year-old.
Dude, what is wrong with this card? On the prelims is Jairzinho Rosenstrike and Chris. What?
I don't understand
Darren
why
Till-
that's a prelim. I don't
Darren
understand why
Till,
Darren Till's a
Duplessis.
prelim.
This is so weird.
And I don't understand why Raul Rosas Jr. is a prelim. I think, dude, as 18 years old, throw that kid on the main stage.
Shabazian's on the card too versus Lumen Gambola.
Imagine being like, hey, no disrespect, but imagine being under Gustafson and OSP.
I know. Well, and honestly, I don't think that Robbie Lawler Ponzinibbio fight should be on the pay-per-view.
That should be a
either.
prelim
That
main
should be
event.
a prelim. If I could substitute one fight, it would be that fight, and I'd probably put either Jairzinho Rosenstruck, Chris Dawkins, or Darren Till in Duplessis.
Duplessis, Darren Till. That's a great fucking fight.
Yeah, that's a really good fight.
They got Chris Curtis and Joaquin Buckley. That should be up a little bit more, I feel like, in the prelims, not early.
Yeah, 100%.
Hold on, Buckley's on this card too.
Yeah,
Yes, dude,
versus
he's on the
Chris
early
Curtis.
prelim. This is
Oh, yeah.
weird. This is
Yeah, it's weird how they're doing that. And then Billy Quarantilla versus Alexander Hernandez. That's going to be a great fight. You had Edmund Shabazian, Dolce Lungambula. I know who that is. I just can't say his name. But yeah, no, it's a great card all the way down.
Great card.
And for the last card of the year, I mean, the last pay-per-view, we might do some early prelims.
I'll be back for that.
Okay.
Yeah, so very excited, guys. Obviously, I might not be on the podcast next week, so make sure you guys tune in for Devin and Mason. I might be on Zoom. We'll see what happens. We'll have to figure all that out. But
yeah, I'm
very excited.
Not going to be here. I'm going to Disney World.
Oh, awesome. Have fun, man.
Thanks.
Take lots of pictures. Vlog it as well. Guys, look for Tabe and the Babe. Thank you, Devin, so much for that name. She loves it. We're going to put that up probably today. Start that YouTube channel. Guys, we will be vlogging a lot of stuff on my vacation. We're going to be posting. I'm going to try to get like 10 or 15 videos just done, and then maybe post some like a couple, like one video a day or something like that for the next few days. We'll see what happens. Maybe one video a week. I don't know. We haven't really thought all that out, but look for Tabe and the Babe. It will be somewhere on our channel or on Tremendous Digital Network. Just look for it. Very excited for that. Very, very excited for that. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving, guys.
Yeah, have a good Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of turkey. Be tired as hell, and go Cowboys.
What's one thing you guys are thankful for?
Mason, if I bring food over, will you cheat a little on your diet or no? It's Thanksgiving, bro. Are you going to cheat a little bit or no?
It's got to be in moderation.
At least some mashed potatoes?
Yeah, but that's a high in carbs, bro. Yeah, I mean, yes, I'll have a little bit of them, but like I have to moderate, otherwise.
Well, just go to the gym every single day.
It's like give me a little bit of heroin when I'm a heroin addict. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, a little bit of heroin.
But you know it's good. You know it's good.
Some cranberry sauce.
I know.
Cranberry sauce is good, but slightly overrated.
I love cranberry sauce. My favorite actually is
out of the can. Just out of the can.
Yeah, no, I don't do out of the
can. Hell yeah, I do out of the can. Homemade everything.
Homemade fucking cranberry sauce.
Homemade cranberry sauce is amazing, but let's just be trash and just use out of the can. This is the one instance where I'll say
tremendous.
That's the one instance where I'll say yes, out of the can. Just cranberry sauce.
Yeah. What's your what's one thing you guys are thankful for?
Nothing.
I'm thankful for the opportunity to be healthy enough to do something like this, to pursue my dreams, my ambitions, and where I don't have, medical problems where I couldn't do something like this, being blind or deaf or mute or too sick to sit up straight, that kind of stuff. So thankful for that.
I'm thankful for my family.
That's great.
Family.
That's very generic, but we do love it.
You know
I'm thankful for my dogs. My dogs get me through a lot of shit.
I take that back.
I know they're annoying
as
fuck,
so
but
annoying.
I love them.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the McRib.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful for the McRib. Let's bring that back.
Send it on that, huh? On a high note.
Powerful stuff, Devin.
Absolutely
Devin
fantastic.
Davis.
I've never had a McRib.
Guys, if you are not following us already, make sure you go to our social media accounts: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the same at the Church of MMA. If you're not following us already, make sure you do it. Post funny memes, trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Craig and Devin Davis on the ones and twos. And until next time.
Peace.